Welcome back, survivors. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Jurassic Park Revolution, where we're going to hop into a brand new hunt. Now, last week was sort of our arcade shooter style, where we got quite a few points built up, but now we're going to slowly see about going on a proper hunt again, so I think we'll go to Tyrannus this time. Is there anything I really want to use? Well, we gotta watch our points, but maybe we'll try something a little heavier loadout like that. And we want to go after just the Allosaurus. Make this a sort of thematic Allosaurus hunt. That actually might not be a bad idea to do. I kind of like that kind of thought. We won't pick a Tyrannosaurus. We'll kind of do... Yeah, this week we'll do an Allosaurus hunt. See how that goes. Then maybe even jump up to... that is quite a few points off, but we'll see how many we can get for this hunt. Everything looks good, though. So, with that all in order, let's hop into the hunt. Okay, we're all loaded in here. Just want to see, what do we want to keep? Probably get the QBZ as our... Ooh, actually, this is the first time using the M16. That's right, so we'll get a little bit of hands-on with that and see how it is. Oh, well, there's our first Allosaurus, but I don't know if it's going to come to... Actually, it looks kind of tiny. There we go. First one's down, though. But yeah, you kind of look like a little pipsqueak. I think I've actually seen some of the ambience a little larger than you are. Well, so far so good. We got one down without getting attacked and taken out ourselves. So we'll keep going and see. And I'm sure many people are going to be excited for tomorrow, where we'll be debuting our start of the Jurassic World Evolution series. And as I've said, we're going to start with the Secrets of Dr. Wu DLC. I've already gotten the base game, played through the campaign of that. I left off basically a few months after it released, so I don't think I've done any of the challenge maps. I think that's a thing in it. Like, it's been a long time since I've actually just booted it up and even seen what all the new stuff is in there. I think that's just because of how... really bare bones the original game was when it launched. Like, it tackled the dinosaurs, the skins in that very well, but the park aspect of a park builder was not exactly fleshed out. It felt very bare bones. I'm hoping that's improved a little bit. I know there's quite a few things you can do for the exhibits, or kind of terrain manipulation you can do now, but when we first got Jurassic World Evolution, it was a very bare bones park builder when you compare it to... Heck, even Parkosaurus, like I did on the channel last week, had more park customization than Jurassic World Evolution did on launch. And Parkosaurus is still in early access. So it just kind of speaks a little bit to how different things can really be for you. But we're on Isla Tyrannus. We'll just get back to the game for a moment here before we get too sidetracked. I am trying to be a little more focused as we go through our series. And I wanted to come here just because we haven't done too many hunts on the map. We've done a few, but nothing too much because of the vanilla point roster, or the point cost of things. Now that we've gone in, adjusted, and tweaked some of the values down, it feels a little bit more enjoyable to be on these maps again. The original values feel a little too bloated for what you get back from each hunted animal that you go after. Like, to have almost 100 point... Oh, there's another Allosaurus. Yeah, so if you want to do targeted hunts, or specific animals, just select them as the only one. They'll definitely seem to help increase your spawn chances of certain ones. Actually, I think I'm going to go for... I'll try the M16 out. I said we'll try it out, but we kind of did not get the response I was hoping for. Oh, maybe we will. There we go, and yeah, this is... Either we got the Vital Zone or Mortal Zone or whatever you want to call it, or this just has a lot of power to it. Well, that's 2 Allosaurs under our belt so far. And we'll do a little bit northeast-wise. See if we can follow up this sort of hill. Well, maybe that's one of the issues that... Just how I approach some hunting games, maybe that's where we've been having a little problem with the point grind, is I usually go after a variety of animals to kind of expand on my... Just kind of variety in the hunts and see across the map. Maybe carnivores, the point grind is actually supposed to be you select your highest point rewarding one, and you just go after that again and again and again, and that's your easiest way to farm them up, rather than having a good variety you should go after. Or you could go after. Again, I kind of approach the carnivores less shooter and farm heavy, or grind heavy, and more, like, I have to say casual playing. As much as I do have a video up every week, it's not something where I heavily target and super adamant go at it to get this by this deadline. I know Triassic, there was some work I did on Triassic, well, I shouldn't say work, but I did a few hunts on Triassic just to farm points up that didn't appear on camera, so that's why I have a feeling Triassic is such a shorter series compared to what Mandibles is turning out to be, because Mandibles, everything I do in-game is on camera, or captured, so you guys can see what the grind is actually like to play as, well, let's face it, I'm pretty much a novice carnivores player. I'm sure there's a lot more I could be doing that would help us get through a little faster, but I feel like this is a good showcase to really show off the entirety of a mod. No replies back. But it's a good way to showcase the mod, how long it takes to farm stuff up or progress through. It's not exactly like a showcase video where everything is completely unlocked with all the points and all weapons and etc. like that. Actually show off the process and progress and journey of sorts that you go through in each mod. And I think that has helped quite a bit for just getting some publicity out there. Like, if you're looking for a bit more of a condensed carnivores experience where you don't want to spend too long before you get to the final animals, I think that Far North will have you covered there. If you're looking for more of a heavier burn, not sure if burn's the right word, but more of a longer process, you really feel yourself going at it and trying to take on things again and mastering it, that's probably where Triassic and Mandibles would be well because of the points and that. Or if you're looking for something carnivore-styled, actually, probably be better to say carnivores gameplay, but Jurassic Park styled, Jurassic Park Revolution. I probably would advise to, maybe I'll even do a little video about showing how you can adjust the point values for things yourself, but something like that where you may want to tweak from the vanilla values because they are very bloated when you compare everything. And we'll try another call and see. Oh, no replies back. There gotta be... Well, we do have the entire other half of the map still to go to, so it's probably no wonder why we don't really have any replies yet. We'll just keep on marching our way on Tyrannus. And I do feel like the mod doesn't start itself off on the best foot. Like, putting yourself onto somewhere like Isla Pena, where you have such a limited variety of weapons to begin with, and everything can almost cluster up at the corners there. Oh. Well, there's one Allosaurus we've already seen. So we're kind of backtracking a little bit. I didn't actually intend for that to be the case, but I guess that means we'll just have to go straight west from this way. And I'm facing south. I'm a dummy. There we go. This is the direction we want to go. I guess I was just kind of caught by the tree line and figured like maybe more hunting thinking things would probably hide in there if they're predatory, but gotta remember, can't really have that too advanced thought when it comes to the carnivores' engines, just because their age is quite a bit back there. Nothing replying back yet. Once we probably get to that western half there, we'll probably get a couple more, I'm thinking. I don't know if this will also be like far north looking for the Tyrannus, where they just seem to be everywhere you're not, in a way. Some Dryosaurs. The ambience isn't too bad on Tyrannus either. It's nothing super loud or kind of get you unnerved or paranoid. Nice relaxing little way to hunt. Oh, I heard something off that way. Well, I shouldn't say heard something, because again, I really compare a lot of the ambient sounds for... The other hunting game that I play a lot of is the Hunter Call of the Wild, where you have a lot of animal calls that go out. Grantedly more than you probably realistically would hear out in the field, but every sound kind of can direct you towards a game animal you could go after. Gotta remember on carnivores, that's not the case. Ambience is just ambience. Oh. Okay, there's something I saw running over that way. I think it was actually a kentrosaur. It looked pretty low to the ground, and it was just that green blob. You gotta be careful, because I don't want to ruin this right now. This is already at least 30 points to come back to us. Oh yeah, it was a kentrosaur. You can see it right out there. Ah, you little buggers, even though you're not selected, you can still probably cause some issues for us if we let you. Okay, I think it's gone off, though. I think we'll be okay from here out. It does sound like we got a reply over this way. It's like, I want to be careful with the hill again, because those can be really lethal in this game. If you're coming up on top, or you're coming over a hill and something else is coming over as well, that... Okay, yeah, the M16 has a lot of power behind it. But as you saw there, if you're both coming up towards the crest of a hill and it spots you first, you don't have a lot of time to be able to get those shots in to take one down. Whether it is an Allosaurus or kentrosaur or any of the other carnivores games. That sort of verticality, just not being able to see, can really be costly. Well, we got one more, so... How did I... But what the... Okay, you know what? I guess we'll go for a swim, because I didn't think I was coming down this far south, and I may even... Kind of tempted to use these 3 shots while we have a lot of distance between us and anything, but... Maybe we'll try to look for a kentrosaur, or use them on something like that. How is the QBZ doing? Oh yeah, the QBZ still has a lot of ammo to go through for it, so... That was an odd call. Well, we'll get our way across here. Just go nice and slow. Thankfully, there's nothing in the water that should come after you. At least not yet, I don't believe. I think that was one of the sort of breakthroughs that the carnivores modding community made not too long ago, was they discovered how to add extra ambient animals and also unlock sort of where they'll spawn in that, so... In future mods that come out, or future series, you may see us having to avoid the water for certain things in there. So that may be interesting. It'll definitely make the world feel a little more alive. It'll also make it take a little bit longer to do little shortcuts like I just did there. And this... I don't think this was where the kentrosaur was. I think we spotted it close, but not quite. Well, we got another reply. So gotta remember to be able to switch over quickly to the QBZ once we use these 3 shots. Just want to take a little scan. Okay, nothing really. Yeah, that's just the big thing, is being careful about being surprised by anything. footsteps you don't really hear too much unless you're really not moving. Yeah, so it sounds like it's just straight ahead of us, which means our scent is probably going to catch or reach it before we see it. Just want to make sure nothing else looks like it's kind of low-lying or hidden around. Okay, that looks pretty good. But yeah, I really wish instead of Penna and... was it Perdita? I think those were the two, but the first two maps of Jurassic Park Revolution don't really start you off on the best foot for what the mod has to offer. I wish it would have given you a much larger map like this, where things were a little bit more spaced out. It was easier to take on one thing at a time, and then start shrinking that up if you want to add a difficulty in the challenge. Just because the tinier a map is, the more things cluster up, and as you've seen, we could sometimes get double-teamed by... And I was cresting over the hill and looking the wrong direction. Shoot. We'll exit area. I told you, though, that those hills could be deadly. Do we want to go for... you know what, maybe we'll do one more on Tyrannus and just try getting what we can for Allosaurus, even if we can just get 2 more quickly, because it's not actually that far into the recording for my tastes. Normally I like to go at least 20 minutes, so we got a few minutes to go. Let's hop into a new hunt and actually do this properly, shall we? Okay, so we're in here now. Well, and I do see our first Allosaurus. Come here, ugly. Actually, I shouldn't say ugly, because, again, I do like the... There we go. Okay, so there's already 1 and 2 done, so 50% complete. I shouldn't say ugly, because I do have to admit, Okay, that's just him snoozing. I do really like the models and textures done on these guys. I know Carnivores has its canon style in that, but sometimes the textures just stretch a bit too much, and it's not most visually appealing. I know I might get a little bit of anger or dislike from that, but I just kind of feel like it's better when the animals... Nope, something over this way. The animals fit a little more naturally in with the environments and the maps and all the work. Like, I'm trying to think of what's a good example. Okay, sounds like one's very close, actually. But, Carnivores Triassic with the... what is that one? The big black and red one, the second one. There's 2. You know what? We got those 2 in under a minute, so we'll even just keep going and see what else we can find around us. I'm trying to remember what the... I can't remember what that one is, but it's the... You have the Allosaurus, which is the first starter animal, and then it's the second one on the roster. And I can't for the life of me recall what the name of it is, but that's one where you can see the texture is kind of stretched, and it just... It doesn't look the greatest. I know it comes down to personal taste and all, but I will admit it might be a little bit of my nostalgia too from Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, getting to see all these again in first person and be walking amongst them, but I just have to say I do like where the textures and models and that, everything feels like it fits really, really well. We'll aim for one more Allosaurus, and once that's brought in, I think we'll end this episode here. And then I think we may even be able to open to start taking specific animal requests next week for Jurassic Park Revolution, if you guys want to see hunts like that. We still have a lot of animals to unlock, like the Camarasaurus, the Acrocanthosaurus. But so far, with the point values changed and maps more open, I feel like the accessibility is much easier for us to just show off the mod at its best and brightest with a lot of good features now. Before, it was super grindy and just repetitive over and over with the tedium of it, but I think now that we've gotten it so that way it's a little easier to have some variety and choice, and the maps are also much larger, much more I don't want to say populated, but feel more alive and realistic almost. That they can actually support the population of dinosaurs and that you see and hunt after. I think this is really more of where Jurassic Park Revolution is going to shine compared to the very early game. I was hoping for one more. Well, we won't go too much longer, like I say. This is kind of the same situation where we kind of... I shouldn't say we. I definitely wasn't the one to bungle that up and lose all those points on us, but... We'll try to at least get one more Allosaurus. We definitely have the ammo for it, so we'll just keep going around, call out every now and again, see if we can spot one. But I have to say, this... Now that we've gotten to here, Jurassic Park Revolution is definitely turning itself around from the start. And tomorrow, once we start on Jurassic World Evolution, we'll see how the channel does, because that's probably going to be the highest profile game that we'll have covered on the channel so far. Though I have it on Monster Hunter World, I think it's expanded its audience, but I don't think it's quite the same profile that you have some of the other larger games. Like Jurassic World Evolution, it has so many different angles to it. Park Builder, Jurassic Park franchise, Dinosaur franchise. It has all that kind of brought in together. So there's going to be a much broader audience that we may get new people watching and coming in from, so... We'll just have to see how it does, and hopefully give everybody a warm welcome who might come in from our start on Jurassic World Evolution. Yeah, unfortunately, not really getting any replies back. And I somehow just go in circles. Like, I don't even know how I managed to do that. Yeah, we'll end things off here, because there's no reply, and we did just go in a giant circle, so apologies for that. That, though, will bring this episode to an end. So, thank you guys very much for joining me on another episode of Jurassic Park Revolution. We are going to start taking requested hunts if there's any animals in particular you'd like us to go after, or any of the maps in particular you'd like to see us play on. Leave them in the comments down below, and we'll try to work them in and do them next week, or starting next week. Because if we have a lot, we'll try to tackle at least one per week, maybe two, see how it goes. If you do like the content or the series I do, be sure to leave a like or comment down below. And if you want to help the channel grow, maybe think about subscribing if you haven't already. We're always welcoming new people, and we're slowly building each and every day. Until I see you in the next episode, though, survivors, please remember to take care and stay alive.